Did you know that psilocybin therapy is actually being studied by real medical institutions for treating depression and PTSD? Well, Nine Perfect Strangers takes that concept and cranks it up to 11 with secret dosing, fake fires, and enough psychological manipulation to make a cult leader jealous. Nicole Kidman has officially become television's most unhinged wellness guru. And honestly, I'm here for it. In this series, she doesn't just break the fourth wall, she demolishes it with a sledgehammer while feeding people hallucinogens. So imagine you're stressed, burnt out, maybe dealing with some serious life trauma. Someone offers you a luxury retreat in California where you can find peace and healing. You arrive, hand over your phone, and within 48 hours, you're digging your own grave while a Russian woman with a mysterious past watches you have a complete breakdown. Welcome to Tranquillum House, and while at it, let me take you through the wild, psychedelic journey that is Nine Perfect Strangers in the next 12 or so minutes. Chapter 1. So we've got 9 people who couldn't be more different, even if they tried. There's Napoleon, Heather, and Zoe, who form a family torn apart by their son's suicide. Frances, a romance novelist who got scammed out of her life savings by a guy she met online. Jessica and Ben, a couple whose marriage is hanging by a thread despite looking perfect on Instagram. Carmel, a single mom who's clearly got some anger issues brewing. Tony, a former football player battling addiction. And Lars, who's pretending to be just another guest while secretly being a journalist, ready to expose whatever shady stuff is happening here. They all arrive at this gorgeous resort in California, thinking they're getting the usual wellness package. You know, yoga, meditation, maybe some overpriced organic food. Instead, they meet Masha, played by Nicole Kidman in what might be her most intense performance yet. This woman has serious main character energy, and not in a good way. And then things get interesting. Masha tells them she literally died, shot 3 times, clinically dead, brought back to life by Yao, who's now basically her right-hand man and possibly more than that, if you catch my drift. She claims this near-death experience gave her some kind of spiritual awakening about healing people. The red flags start immediately. Phones confiscated? Check. Weird surveillance everywhere? Check. Making people lie in graves to contemplate death? Double check. When your wellness guru's first activity is literally making you practice being dead, maybe it's time to call an Uber. Frances tries to leave after the grave situation because, honestly, the same. Who wouldn't? Instead of letting her go like any normal person would, Masha convinces her to stay just one more day. This is manipulation 101, good people. Things escalate when they're forced to participate in trust exercises that go horribly wrong. Heather almost walks off a cliff because she's so devastated about her son's death. Instead of getting this woman proper grief counseling, Masha sees this as progress. The audacity is stunning. Now here's where our story takes a turn that would make even the most dedicated wellness influencer pause. Chapter 2. Remember how I mentioned those green smoothies? Well, the plot spirals, and guess what? They're spiked with psilocybin. That's right, magic mushrooms. Masha has been secretly drugging her guests without their knowledge or consent, calling it micro-dosing, like that somehow makes it legal or ethical. When she finally admits this during dinner, the reactions are exactly what you'd expect. People are furious, scared, and want to leave immediately. Some are talking about calling the police. Instead of backing down, Masha doubles down, explaining how this is all part of her revolutionary healing process. Lars finally comes clean about being a journalist, which creates even more chaos. Carmel has a complete meltdown and reveals the abuse she suffered from her husband. Tony confesses to Frances that he killed someone in a bar fight. Everyone's deepest, darkest secrets start spilling out like a therapy session from hell. The drugs start hitting harder. Zoe begins seeing her dead brother Zach, having full conversations with him. Frances hallucinates her scammer ex-boyfriend Paul, who tells her that her books are terrible. These aren't gentle spiritual experiences, but full-on psychological breakdowns happening in real time. While all this is happening, Masha is getting threatening text messages from someone who clearly knows her past. The paranoia is real, and it's affecting everyone at the resort. Jessica and Ben finally have an honest conversation about their relationship while high out of their minds in a hot tub. Carmel catches them, which adds another layer of drama because she's already feeling completely isolated and unwanted. The birthday party they throw for Zoe turns into this surreal celebration where they're also celebrating her dead brother. It's touching and disturbing at the same time, which pretty much sums up this entire show. By the way, if you're enjoying this deep dive into psychological chaos, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. The tension keeps building because Masha keeps pushing boundaries that shouldn't be pushed. Chapter 3. I had mentioned earlier that Masha has been getting threatening messages, right? Well, the person sending them has been right there the entire time. Carmel, sweet, seemingly harmless Carmel, is the one who shot Masha all those years ago. She discovered Masha was having an affair with her husband and decided to take matters into her own hands. When this truth comes out, instead of being angry, Masha actually thanks Carmel. She believes being shot and dying gave her this spiritual awakening that led to her becoming this healing guru. It's twisted logic. Even for this show, things spiral completely out out of control when Masha locks everyone in a room and stages a fake fire to force them to confront their deepest fears about death. These people think they're about to die, and Masha's treating it like a therapeutic exercise. The woman has completely lost touch with reality. Napoleon has another encounter with his son's spirit in the woods where Zach tells him it's time to let go of the guilt and grief. It's actually a beautiful moment in the middle of all this chaos. The police finally show up thanks to Delilah, one of the staff members who realized how dangerous the situation had become. When questioned, all the guests stick together and claim nothing happened. They protect Masha despite everything she put them through, which says something about Stockholm Syndrome or maybe genuine transformation. You decide. The aftermath is surprisingly positive for everyone. Francis starts writing again and explores a relationship with Tony. Lars reconnects with his partner and they have a baby. Carmel finds confidence and starts teaching classes. The Marconi family finally begins healing from their son's death. Jessica and Ben take over the resort, presumably to run it without the whole secret drugging thing. Masha drives off in a yellow Lamborghini with a vision of her daughter, finally at peace with her past. It's actually a pretty satisfying ending for season 1 that put its characters through absolute hell. I have to ask, do you think Masha was a visionary healer or a dangerous manipulator? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate could go on forever. Now, you might think that's where the story ends, seeing how everyone got there happily ever after. Well, you'd be wrong. Chapter 4, Season 2 Preview. Nicole Kidman couldn't stay away from playing unhinged wellness gurus, so she's back for Season 2 with a whole new group of people to psychologically terrorize. This time, we're trading the California coast for the Austrian Alps at a retreat called Zauberwald. Season 2 will start airing on May 21st, 2025, and it's already clear that Masha hasn't learned her lesson about boundaries or consent. We've got 9 new strangers, including Henry Golding, Christine Baranski, Annie Murphy, and Mark Strong, all looking for transformation and probably getting way more than they bargained for. The first few episodes show Masha dealing with her own demons while introducing new experimental healing methods to her unsuspecting guests. There's something about this alpine setting that makes everything feel even more isolated and intense than Tranquillum House. Early episodes hint at museum trips that go sideways, mysterious late arrivals, and Masha's healing protocols having varying effects on people. If season 1 taught us anything, it's that when Masha says something will have varying effects, someone's probably going to end up having a complete psychological breakdown in a very expensive location. The season is set to run 8 episodes, with new ones dropping weekly. Based on the episode titles alone, Prague, The Other Side, Mergers and Acquisitions, it sounds like this season is going to be just as wild as the first one, if not more so. I'm planning to cover the entire second season once it finishes airing, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Trust me, if the first season was any indication, we're going to need to unpack whatever psychological chaos Masha unleashes in the Austrian Alps. 9 Perfect Strangers is the kind of show that makes you question everything about the wellness industry while simultaneously making you want to book a spa day. It's a psychological thriller disguised as a meditation retreat, and somehow Nicole Kidman makes it all work. The show tackles real issues like grief, addiction, relationship problems, and trauma, then wraps them up in this completely bonkers package of secret drugs and fake fires. It shouldn't work considering how extreme everything gets, yet somehow it does. The performances across both seasons are incredible. Nicole Kidman completely commits to making Masha both terrifying and sympathetic. Melissa McCarthy showed her dramatic range in season 1. The entire ensemble cast brings authenticity to characters who could easily become caricatures. If you're looking for your next binge watch and you can handle psychological intensity mixed with dark humor, 9 Perfect Strangers delivers. Just maybe don't use it as inspiration for your next wellness retreat. What did you think of this breakdown? Are you team Masha or team this woman needs to be stopped? Let me know in the comments below.